By the end of this video, you should know exactly how you implement and design a morning routine that you can stick to that will help you achieve pretty much all of your goals that you have set out for yourself. And I'm also going to explain to you exactly why morning routines in specific are so OP and how you're going to literally gap and mug everyone if you implement one correctly. But before that, who am I? I'm a year 13 student studying maths, further maths and physics at one of the best schools in the UK, and I'm predicted all A stars in them, and I got pretty much all 9s in my GCSEs. But I'm not some like random student, not like a random NPC student. I went from a massive transformation back in year 10 and year 11 where I was getting 4s and 5s, which is like a D or a C, and I was a very average, mids to average student, and I went through a big self-improvement arc and I got to where I am today. Before I tell you exactly how I implement a morning routine, I want to start off with a story. If you've been watching my content from beforehand, you know I tell you a story from maybe 2 years ago where I wasn't really a good student, I wasn't really paying attention in class, and that was what was causing my grades. But in this story, I want to tell you something that's happened more recently. So recently, very recently, so like 2 to 3 weeks ago, I've basically fell off. Not completely fell off, but fell off from the self-improvement values that have held and kept this channel going for so long. I've been making videos for almost 2 years now, and throughout that entire time, I've always been promoting the self-improvement, go to the gym, stick to your routine, be disciplined, so wake up early in the morning and work throughout the entire 2 years. But very recently, like 2 to 3 weeks ago, I've kind of fell off them. Now, I'm not really going to reveal exactly why, but I've been staying up late, like very late, and that in particular, I think, has genuinely caused a massive correlatory effect on my life. Just that one thing, staying up late and not completing my morning routine has caused me not to go to the gym as often, has caused me to gain a bit of body fat even on a cut, has caused me to not be as good as a fighter in like my fight class. I wasn't as present and I wasn't focusing enough in school. Just this one habit, just staying up late. The reason was just because I didn't implement my morning routine. I've genuinely seen a massive glow down in terms of my self-improvement habits, which has caused me to get worse grades in end of topic tests and have caused me to just perform worse in life in general. When it comes to fighting, in the gym, or in class, I've just been getting worse results recently. Now, the reason behind this was purely just because I stayed up late. This is the power of a morning routine. A morning routine, in my opinion, can differentiate a A-star student from like a D student. I remember back in year 11, when I started implementing these morning routine stuff, when leading up to my exams, I had a lot of work to go through. So I would start getting up in the morning and revising. I remember that just that one habit, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not, but just that one thing of morning routine, of having like a morning routine, genuinely skyrocketed my entire like grades and everything. I've been trying to get like a lot of people on this, but I can tell you, like from person to person, that if you don't implement a consistent morning routine right now, you're missing out. If you're not getting the best grades in class, or you're not achieving your goals in general, it's probably because you don't have a morning routine. So this point leads me very well on to why exactly is a morning routine important. Now, I've been rambling on about like the effects of not having a morning routine in my own life and how I've glowed down in my own life just because I stopped having a morning routine. But in like scientific terminology, in like tangible evidence, why does a morning routine help you so much, and why does not having it constrict you so much? The first point on why exactly a morning routine is important is because of something called brain fuel. Now, if you listen to this section very closely, because I think you've probably not heard this before, but it's very important. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you have to imagine that your body or like your mind is a plane, and you've been filled up with a certain amount of fuel for your brain. So let's give this units. Imagine 100 units of fuel in your brain as soon as you wake up, as soon as you open your eyes. Now, as soon as you open your eyes to when you go to sleep, or like when you end the day, every single decision you make takes away from that brain fuel. So for example, if I get up and I go downstairs and like think of what food I'm going to eat, that's going to take maybe 0.5 amount of like units of that brain fuel away from my mind. Now, doing actions, digesting or exercising or doing like any major actions takes away even more of those brain points. So if I get up right in the morning and I go for a run, that's going to maybe take away 20 of those brain fuel points, or like brain fuel units. Sorry if I've been using points and units interchangeably. If you go out for a run as soon as you get up, that's going to take away around 20 units of brain fuel away. Now, if you don't do work in the morning, now each one of the tasks that you have planned, so imagine I had to wake up and do an English paper. That English paper is about 20 to 40 brain fuel points. That, like fuel amounts. If I don't have 20 to 40 brain fuel amounts, I can't do the work. This is why it's so hard to work after you come home from school, innit? Like, you've seen this before. It's so hard to come home from school and work. Have you ever been consistent? Like, be honest with me. Have you ever been consistent in working hard after school? There's very little people who can. And the reason is because when you go to school, so much of your brain points and brain fuel is taken away just because of the actions you do, just because of who you meet and everything, which then causes you not to have enough brain fuel points to do the task that you need to do. So the reason having a morning routine is important and doing your work right in the morning is important is just because as soon as you wake up, you have like enough fuel to do the activity. So imagine I wake up and I have 100 of these points. I can then go and do 2 English papers with ease just because I have enough fuel to do them. But I can't do the same in the evening, or me personally, I cannot even imagine doing the same as soon as I come back from school, just because I don't have the like mental capability to do them. That's the first main reason why having like a morning routine where you do work is very, very important. I've got this concept from 2 people that are kind of controversial. But I don't condone any of these people. I'm not agreeing with them completely. But I've just said that like this concept is very, very important. The first person is this guy named Alex Hormozi, who's like a very, very big entrepreneur. And the second person is Hamza Ahmed, who's also a very big entrepreneur. He's kind of controversial. But yeah, like these 2 people have like really, really good productivity advice. So if you want to go and check them out as well, they also have like additional productivity advice to them. And I probably didn't do it justice in explaining this analogy. But basically, like the morning routine is very, very important just because you have enough brain fuel to do the work in the morning. The second main reason why a morning routine is so OP is because it makes you more disciplined. In the book Atomic Habits, the guy like James Clear, he says that habit stacking is what you should aim for. Habit stacking basically means that if you do all of the good habits at one time, that's going to make you way more motivated for the day. As soon as you do like some good habits, that's going to make you way more likely to do even better habits later on in the day. You've probably seen this in your own life as well. If you get up and then you do something you're not supposed to, or you get up and you just scroll on Instagram, you're more likely to have a bad day for the rest of the day. So the reason why a morning routine is so good, and every single successful person uses one, is just because if you get up in the morning and you do work, you're way more likely to have a way better day in general, but than if you just wake up and like scroll on your phone. These 2 reasons may sound small, but having a morning routine will genuinely change your academic career and also like get you like pretty much any goal you set. Like genuinely, if you're working at a C in any subject right now, I guarantee you, if you stick to a morning routine and design it in the way I'm going to tell you to, you're going to get way better and you genuinely have a chance of getting an A star in the actual exam. Like think about it. If you use the first 2 to 3 hours of your day kind of productively, you have a chance to like completely change the trajectory of your life just by those 2 to 3 hours if you just do them correctly. So hopefully now you're convinced on exactly why a morning routine is really important and exactly the benefit it's going to give you. It's basically going to change your life. So now I'm going to tell you exactly how you implement one and design one correctly. So now I'm going to tell you exactly how you design one and implement one correctly, but I'm not going to spell it out to you. Instead, I'm going to show you my morning routine so you can just copy off like my routine basically. You can literally just take my routine and change it for what you like, whatever cause you want to do. I don't really care. So my morning routine is I wake up at 4:30 a.m. and I go upstairs, I wash my face, and I get straight to work for my first deep work session. Deep work is a specific type of work where you study without any distractions, or you work without any distractions, and there's a few added instructions. It's basically like the best, most optimal way to work in general. I have a full 1 hour guide on exactly how to do it, so I would recommend you check that out. I'll put it up here somewhere. But yeah, I do my first 90-minute session of deep work. I then go downstairs and I have some food. The reason I have food is, actually, no, I don't have food after 90 minutes. It's a bit messed up now just because it's Ramadan and I'm Muslim and I'm fasting. So I don't really, the time you can eat kind of changes. But I do my first block of work. I go downstairs and then eat. And then I come back upstairs and do my second block of work. So another 90 minutes of just straight, hardest work possible. I do the practice questions. I do, I learn the hardest topic. And then after that, I do my full actual hygiene routine. So I go and have a shower, I brush my teeth, I then train abs because I'm on that cut. I'm on that cut for university. So I want to get abs for university and get really lean. But yeah, that's basically my morning routine. It's not anything overly complicated. The biggest thing dictating my morning routine is just the 2 blocks of work I do in the morning. So I do 3 hours of work right in the morning. And I guarantee you, if you try and copy me, or if you just copy the main components of my morning routine, your grades will probably change if you're working at a lower level, in terms of grades. I remember I tried to implement something of the same in year 11, and I went from a 4 to a grade 9 in pretty much every subject. So yeah, just literally rewatch this one video and implement a correct morning routine that you can stick to, and I pretty much guarantee you that your grades will go up. Share this video to someone who needs to follow a routine and needs to lock in for exams or life in general. Like this video if you like the video, and subscribe to this channel if you want more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.